Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to the Armchair QB Show. I'm your host, Bill Reed. With me, as always, is America's counselor, Mike Devine. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
America's counselor?
Well, you know. Yeah.
I thought I was your producer.
Producer, you're my counselor, my confidant, my tax man. Not really. I don't pay taxes.
It's all right. You know, it's funny because, like, I
don't believe in it. What are those people that don't believe that you, like, owe taxes?
Criminals?
Criminals, yeah. Schizophrenics?
Speaking of criminals, joining us again this week is Ryan Stelzer. Ryan, welcome back.
Gentlemen, how you
to
doing?
the Armchair QB Show. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good, buddy.
You're the king armchair QB.
Well,
that's the irony of that.
That's why we call
you have the
ourselves
host, the armchair QB. This guy is the armchairist of all the QBs, pretty much.
Well, that's because we know everything.
I don't like to drop an opinion on anything. Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020. We armchair QB it all because we know everything here. So that's why we just kind of let it fly. And then if we're wrong, just don't tell us because we won't believe you anyway.
Yeah. Your meme game is pretty on point.
It's been better lately.
It's been better.
It's good, yeah. I mean, sometimes you overstep the boundaries of decency.
Habitually.
But habitually. You are a habitual line stepper.
Not when it comes.
I like the line.
Not when it comes to your some of your updates and tweets about Coach Jim Harbaugh of Michigan.
Ooh.
Who has been...
What was he thinking?
He's made some headlines this week. I've made a little bit some waves with the things he's said about Coach Urban Meyer from Ohio State. Now, we're all Ohio State fans here. I get it. We are total homers. However,
what was the context though? Because I was reading like what he said, and I was kind of in a rush, but I was trying to find out what were they talking to him about to where that even came up?
I think they were hitting on the fact that Big Ten writers had predicted that Michigan would win the conference.
It was Big Ten Media Day.
And he's like, hey, is it going to be a little easier for you this year, Jim, because Urban's out of the conference? He said something along the lines of, Urban's had a great record, but everywhere he goes, there's a little bit of trouble.
Well, speaking of good records, Harbaugh is 0-4 against... was 0-4 against Urban Meyer.
Well, that's the whole thing I saw in the article. Was he talking about how he's 0-4 and then had to somehow put a dig in on Meyer? Well, I may have lost to them 4 times in a row, but hey,
three times by more than 10 points.
The guy has chaos going on all around him. How does
Yeah, sure, Jim. I'll tell you what. Go take some more European trips with your team. Go ahead, get some more, Michael Jordan flight uniforms. Yeah. Whatever you can shine the turd up all you want. The bottom line is you got shellacked 62-39. You are the highest paid or one of the highest paid college coaches. You have yet to win the Big Ten East.
He should have stayed in San Francisco.
Dude, he was so the thing is that he was so resoundingly disliked in San Francisco. He took them to the NFC Championship game twice.
And they still didn't like how fucking
they didn't like him.
They
didn't like him. Yeah. Nobody liked him. He was an asshole, right? I mean,
he's the reason we got to deal with Kaepernick's stupid ass now.
Well,
not to swing back to the
not
Trumpster.
To swing
back to the Trumpster, but let's be honest here. I mean,
well, it seemed like to me with
you
Harbaugh.
said you wanted a conservative voice, Devine.
This isn't my show. All right, this is Bill's show. All right,
this is the people's show. Okay, right. This is for all of us out there.
You said you were the producer.
That is true. Yeah. So what's that volume button? I couldn't hear you this part.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's that little white button over there.
So weird.
Did we hit the record button this week?
So weird. Every time we talked about the Philadelphia Eagles being awesome, it was like, wow, the volume. Whoa, loud and clear.
It's a fluctuating little
so weird. Gosh,
did it seem to you like it was just a cheap shot by Harbaugh?
Yeah, dude, the guy's an asshole.
Because Meyer, who's not coaching, he's still with Ohio State. He's like in another capacity, not associated necessarily with football.
He's like a teacher or something.
Yeah. But it just seemed like an unnecessary dig. He could have just said, you know what? He could have said the politically correct thing. He said Meyer had a great career, blah, 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 blah. But now we're looking
not worried about him, worried about Ryan Day.
Exactly. We're worried about the future. Our team, we have a good squad. And I'm sure he said those things. But, of course, what gets the headlines is controvery follows him everywhere.
But you know what else falls with him everywhere? I don't know, championships.
Right.
Winning.
Exactly. So,
victory. I'm just saying, what follows around
the Patriots and Tom Brady, they have controversy all around them as well. And guess what? It is what it is.
And the controversy he's referring to at Ohio State, let's be honest, is a little bit, did he hit that woman?
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. I mean, yeah.
he enabled the kid by letting him on the staff a little bit longer than he should have.
I mean,
but
what was the big thing in Florida?
what's
I mean,
he
it was
supposed
this,
to fucking do?
he had what? He had
Aaron
surgery.
Hernandez murdered somebody after he went to the fucking Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they put it back on
That's
Urban.
true.
but
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, of course, you don't hear that's not. They don't blame him, and he was
Yeah.
actually on the Patriots. But
I'm
somehow
sure he only is
it
willing
was
to
Urban
coach
Meyer's
upstanding
fault, though.
individuals.
It's very bizarre. Again,
It was just a weird. Yeah, it's like.
people believe what they want to believe
I
based on who
mean-
your team is. I understand that.
I mean, this ain't like the U. I mean, what coach
This
was
isn't the
during
U.
the? What,
there are rules
who was
here.
that?
This isn't the U.
Was that a Butch?
Butch Davis.
Yeah, was that Butch Davis was the
Yeah.
coach? Yeah.
Well, he was one of the
And then
coaches.
Larry
Yeah.
Coker came in when we played him in the championship.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, like you don't. I mean, it's,
Right, Larry Coker?
Larry Coker, he was the coach, absolutely,
Yeah.
back in the 2002
Yeah.
national championship.
With Frank Gore about to tote the ball for my Buffalo Bills this year, too.
dude, what is he like?
35 years old, some
Wow.
bitch's legs
Dude,
are about to
the
fall
Eagles
off.
just signed
Well,
Darren Sproles for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's,
that dude's
he's
like
36.
Yeah.
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 I
Is
saw
he that old?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an old dude, man.
I was surprised when I saw that the other day, but hey, man.
Still kick our asses.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I would say like, dude, he's has been, but he'll still beat my ass.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think about Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs? He's got no suspension, nothing. He's free and clear to join the Chiefs here.
Now, was he on video like Kareem Hunt?
He is not on
No.
video. like
Not that
Kareem.
I'm just. I
Hey,
mean,
video
No.
don't lie.
So,
That's all I'm
well,
gonna say.
Kareem
about
Hunt
it.
was on video beating that girl to the
So,
ground.
like this, like Ray Rice, you know. So, the thing
Oh,
is,
Ray
Bill
Rice,
and I, we talked about this. But I think was it yesterday or was it earlier today? Maybe
Yeah.
we talked about
Mhm.
it. And what's
It's got to
interesting?
be their angle.
Well, here's what's interesting. So you read like the transcripts of like the call that was overheard, right? It's perplexing because it's like, listen, like everyone has dated a guy or
This is
girl.
a 9/11 call from Tyreek
It was
Hill, or
overheard,
over
yeah.
the Tyreek Hill.
So they have a transcript of it, right?
Yeah.
So now, side, like preface real quickly is that everyone in their life has dated a guy or girl that was crazy, right? And then you're sitting there going like, you had that argument where it's like, are we having the same conversation here? Like this crazy, right?
Crazy.
And that's where your friend in the background's going, I told you that fucker was crazy.
Yeah,
I told you that bitch was crazy. But like, so that's what's interesting is that the like 3/4 of the transcript is like him basically telling her like, you and I both know that shit didn't happen. Like just because you say you over there don't mean it was. But then the very last line the guy thinks what really got him into trouble, whereas like, and she's like, well, I ain't scared of you, and he's like, well, you better be scared
Yeah,
of me.
hey, he popped her.
You know,
don't
he goes, my kid is. He goes, your kid's scared of me.
Yeah.
And then that's what and it was like. It was weird because 3/4 of it was like a guy that was like, "You are crazy!" Like,
Right.
like why did you buy me a gun rack? I don't have a gun, let alone But then at the very end, that's when he's just like, "Ooh." But that's
He
why
confirmed crazy.
I don't think he. Yeah, I don't. That's why I think he didn't get in trouble. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong, but it's gonna be really tough to sue somebody or to kick somebody out of the league off of that's all you got.
Well, they can't. They can't kick him out of the league for that, or they can't suspend him. Just
you
for,
get your ass sued so
Yeah.
quick if you prevent somebody from making a living. That kind of money on it, if you don't have solid
well, plus,
reason to do so.
Let's be honest. I mean, Roger Godell is not exactly Mr. Popularity amongst the players
They
or the
love
fans.
Him. They love him.
That guy. I mean, if he went missing, you would have a whole laundry list of suspects.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
so no matter what decision Godell makes, he's going to have his detractors. You're going to have Chiefs fans who are going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Well, where's the evidence if he were to get suspended?
Right.
Where's the evidence? I can't believe because you're railroading this guy, but then this guy and this guy basically skirted it, and then you have the other people going, man, you don't take domestic abuse seriously, and
Right.
what kind of message are you sending? Like you're saying one
All
thing,
you're worried about is your
right?
league,
You're worried
making
about
money.
your league,
Yeah.
and it's so. Godell, who I'm not a big fan of personally, but I do see his dilemma where he's just.
I don't have a problem with him.
I don't like him just because maybe other people don't like him, and he kind of rubs off. I'm like, so when they the draft when he comes on, they go boo. I'm like, yeah, boo this man because, the mob mentality. So.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
He's way overpaid.
He's way overpaid.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
but he's also made the owners and the players.
Well, he hasn't made
Yeah.
anything. The
And the players
players
don't
haven't
like him
made
because
yeah.
he's the
Right.
rule of law. Same
Yeah.
reason, but
Yeah.
that's why Trump doesn't get any.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the rule of law.
Nobody likes the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Goodell's the man of the NFL.
It's tough. I mean, like, it's. The thing I get back to. I mean, obviously I'm a clinician and I work with people, in domestic abuse, and obviously I'm not cool in any way, shape, or form. But it's like these people are fucking gladiators. Their job is to beat the.
They're soldiers,
Right.
according to Kellen Winslow.
But
The
it's
recently now incarcerated and convicted Kellen Winslow.
Yeah.
For raping homeless people,
yeah,
mind you.
Yeah.
Elderly.
Old, elderly
homeless
yeah.
people. But they were homeless, right? That's the key.
I don't know.
I focus
but
more on homeless than elderly.
Well, the thing is, you guys sit there like after all that weed.
Both are disgusting.
Can you
but
imagine
talk
if
about
certain-
a man with particular interests. I mean,
Well,
he's
can you
very-
imagine?
a real niche, if you will.
Yeah, like, put yourself in Tariq Hill's shoes, right? Imagine he got suspended in the same like news span of finding out Kellen Winslow was sitting there jerking off in the locker room, and literally
Yeah, they said
people literally sitting there
yeah.
going, I don't want a room next to him. I want to sit
Yeah.
next to him on the airplane.
Motherfucker's gonna beat all
Yeah.
the porn.
I would be like, wow, so that fucker,
Yeah.
he got to play, but I don't wow.
You want to talk about warning signs are there. They were saying one of the
Jeez.
first times Kellen was in the NFL, he's at the Browns practice facility. You probably heard this story. So they're getting ready to shoot some promo with his dad's at the facility, and they're getting ready to shoot some kind of promo with him where they just signed with the team and everything. And they're looking around, they can't find Kellen Winslow Jr.
He's in the corner beating off.
Well, so the story went, according to Sports Illustrated, was that they sent one of the Gophers there at the facility to go look for him, and he saw his
his car in a parking
his
lot.
car was
yeah.
parked across the street at the visitors lot. So he goes, "Oh, just run out there real quick to see, if he's out there or what he's doing." So the people are standing around waiting for Kellen Winslow Jr. and his dad's there too to shoot some kind of promo, and the Gopher runs out there, or the assistant, I should say, and according to Sports Illustrated, Kellen Winslow's in his own car, masturbating, and he's like, "Oh, hey, whenever you're ready, we're ready for you inside, at your place of business in a parking lot." Dude,
Starting tight end of the Cleveland Browns,
That
you
should have
should
been
never
your-
touch your
Yeah.
own penis.
Yeah.
that should, you should have women lining up.
Yeah, line it up.
And that's where it's just, it's that's. I mean, given it's a different league, different era, but it's man, anyone else suspended or going to be suspended, and you hear those stories, wow,
That's just a warning
I played
sign
in the
right there.
I played in the wrong era, I guess.
Jesus
Wow,
I did
jeez,
something wrong.
yeah, jeez,
What can you do?
what can you do?
I mean, I guess he didn't break a
Homeless
law.
people, homeless women.
You couldn't buy him a small
That
little
makes the
apartment
IHOP
first.
waitress with Tiger Woods look like
Well-
a fucking gem.
Well, what I still think what's really crazy though is with Kansas City. I mean, Andy Reid is notorious for pretty much bringing in seems like the worst freaking team mates. I mean, that happened in Philly, happened in his own family and enabling with his kid.
Still won't beat the Raiders though.
Yeah, I mean, it's wow, it just seems completely Andy Reid just every one of his teams always falls apart like this from the inside out. With the people that he brings in, look at these amazing athletes, but they're cancers among themselves. I mean,
Well, look at, and I know it's kind of shifting in professional sports, but look at our jobs and everything. When you get interviewed by a
you
company,
don't have a job.
Well, I have this job.
that is true. That is true.
Although
Yeah.
nobody
Wait a minute. What the?
Wait, nobody interviewed
I was
me.
just told.
I just showed up. And they stuck a microphone in my face and said, "Here you go." And I said, "Well, I know everything." So, it kind of worked out. But no.
I ain't editing shit this week, man. My ass going on strike.
And, so when you get interviewed by a company, I mean, they not only do they look at what you're qualified for and your previous work experience, but they want to know, you have references, and they want to know what kind of person you are. And they do, criminal checks, as I'm sure the NFL does too. But, at the end of the day, your talent does not necessarily outweigh your character.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to take you. You might be the greatest, loan officer in history. You might be the greatest counselor in history. But a company, if they're hiring you, they're going to go, yeah, but this, that, and the other, and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But you can, you're going to catch, 1,000 yards this year as a receiver, or whatever you're going to do. They're going to willing to let that, because not only that, you're going to be paid $10 million, $20 million, but you're going to help bring in all this other money too through jersey sales, and we're going to win this, and we're going to do this. So when you get a bunch of young people on top of it who have maybe never had money before, and they have some of them, as most people do, are going to have some kind of questionable, values. It's a matter of time. You're going to have these examples, no matter any kind of sports, and that's not a play on anybody in particular. That's just a fact of life. You're going with talent versus character in a lot of these cases. That's why some of these guys get second and third chances, and because you want to win, just win, baby. So that's what I think about Kellen Winslow and Tyreek Hill, and And again, not saying that some of those guys don't deserve second chances because none of us are perfect, but it's very easy as the armchair quarterback to sit back and go, "Yep, I could have told you that guy was going to do that again," or "What the hell did you give him another shot for? He did this 3 other times." But you do occasionally have a redemption story where a guy maybe can turn himself around.
Well, I think the addiction ones are sad. Like Josh Gordon, like I know everyone was kind of getting, I'm like, oh, he did it again. I'm like, man, that shit's fucking sad. Because if you really think about it.
But didn't he keep testing positive for pot?
Oh, it was pot,
so.
Coke. I mean, it's everything.
Oh, I
mean,
thought
like,
it was
yeah.
just like pot again.
Oh, dude,
like,
pot and Coke.
It started
and,
with something worse, but
yeah,
maybe it kept going with pot.
I think probably Hydra. I mean, like, and that's what's sad. Where it's like you have some of these guys where no matter.
I won't beat him up for pot.
Yeah, I just, man, it's just sad that a lot of these guys just can't. Their addiction is so strong that it gets in the way of making millions of dollars.
They get months in.
Think
sad
if you
as
landed a
shit.
job making like $300,000 a year, you'd cross your
Yeah.
T's and dot
I'm
your
like, all
fucking
right,
I's.
sweet, yeah, all right.
They
cool.
got a job making $3 million. They're like, I'll take that joint.
No problem.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me.
NFL never tests. Fuck
Well,
'em.
I remember like when I went to grad school, like when I really kind of like had to quit, you know, and
Yeah.
because I was like, oh wow, the jobs I'm working where if I get injured, like if a kid hits me with a chair, don't matter. Like the first thing they're doing, you get their drug test, and then if like you test positive, they ain't gonna pay for anything, and you're fired. And it's like, oh wow, yeah,
You
I
just
gotta.
brought up a memory. Because we all went to Kilbourne. Who got hit in the back of the head with a chair in class?
Oh,
when we were in school? Right? Somebody got hit.
Wasn't it?
I don't remember.
No, somebody
No,
did,
I
right?
Yeah, it was
Somebody
Buddha.
came up
Wasn't
on
it
the back-
Buddha?
Yeah,
it was like
one of the
Buddha
quos
or
something.
Wait, what was his name?
It was like
Buddha.
Basil.
No, I thought
Basil.
Buddha was a.
I probably shouldn't say it's on social or on.
That's right. Mike's the producer here, so if he
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
edit it out
yeah.
later on, you can see
Who was it though?
Um,
Somebody at fucking Kilbourne got hit in the back of the head.
I think it
I
was
don't
like
remember that.
It was
it was
unsuspecting.
like my freshman year. I think it was your
Yeah.
guys' sophomore
Yeah.
year.
I don't recall that.
While you're in there. Yes, sir.
Make a round of brewskis. Make
Um,
it 4 Boilermakers.
Yeah, somebody got hit in the back of the head. I don't know why that came to me,
Maybe
but I
it was
figured it was a
me.
good time to bring it up.
Maybe it was me.
I don't know. It wasn't
Maybe
you.
that's why I have
That's
what
true.
I have now.
That's true. No, that was just.
Well, it could have been. You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
I know, like in things are so bad in the Mets. No, the thing is, like things are so bad in the Mets right now that Brody Van Wagner, the GM, right for the All-Star break, I guess, like the Mets bullpen blew another game, and he was so pissed. I guess in the team meeting with the managers, I guess he threw a chair across the room. Like it's bad.
You know what? That's how you know it's Miller time. I got to tell you, this is
It's an expensive.
I make this my one designated drinking day of the week is doing this show. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a thing. So,
It's a new thing,
is it a new thing?
or is it just a thing?
It's just
More of a
a
thing.
new thing of
I
the,
think it's
of
just
the
a
day.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else we got? So we had.
Well, I tell you what.
You had a lot in that list. So
What I'm particularly excited for, is I think you guys are as well, is Top Gun 2, or known Top Gun Maverick. The trailer got dropped this week by Tom Cruise. He was at San Diego Comic-Con, which I would love to go to sometime. And I don't know if you folks out here listening have seen it yet or not. I definitely recommend you check it out. It looks awesome.
I do have a giant beef with this movie.
There we go. It hasn't even come out yet. Coming out in 2020. Divine
yeah,
got
well,
What are we, 30 years removed from the original?
34 years.
Yeah,
he
so
said.
That's part of the
I have a
problem.
giant beef. Okay,
Yeah.
so I remember when they were talking about the movie, right? Like, I was like, oh, what they're gonna do, right? So the original one came out. The F-14 Tomcat was like our fighter pilot, plane. Like when Iron Eagle came out around the same time. The F-16 was supposed to be like the new one, but a lot of those movies, they always picked the airplane that was synonymous at that time. The F-14, the aging one, but that was our naval pilot one, and then then F-16, the Air Force one, right?
Okay.
So flash forward, right?
I'm trying.
The plane they decided to use in Top Gun, the F-18, right? Now, it's a
original
cool
or this
Hornet.
one?
This new one, right? The F-18, even though it was like technically a Super Hornet, which is like this redone kind of one, they should have been using, like, if they're going to have the best of the best, they should have been using like an F-22, an F-35.
Well, maybe they explain that, though. Maybe that's a flashback. I mean, it's a trailer. It's a teaser trailer.
No,
so...
that was in the script that the planes are using F-18. Even at the time, people were kind of like, well, why are they using F-18s? Because if you're a fighter pilot, you're going to be using F-22 or F-35.
I was going to say, isn't the F-35s the ones that were grounded because there were some difficulties?
Only the Air Force version of it, because it goes faster, technically speaking. But even then, it was like, it only is like maybe 1 or 2 planes found this little stress fracture in the back.
Well,
but
those are the Raptors, right?
the Raptors are the F-22, the F-35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I found it very peculiar that was the plane they decided to use for the best of the best one. As like the F-22s are kind of fucking.
I mean,
it still has air superiority. Now I know it might be nitpicking, but as the resident pilot here and the military fan, like.
I remember when the movie Driven came out and how just mad you were.
Oh, the movie was so bad.
The Stallone movie.
So bad.
About the way they were shifting. I remember the first one, you were like, that's not how they shift. That's not the right way. And I was like, does it matter? And you're like,
yes, it matters. Yes. So it already left a sour taste. Now, that being said, though, that trailer.
That aside,
dude, I'm not going to lie. I got a little tingle in my balls when I was watching it. It was pretty good.
I was very happy when I saw it. Stelzer, I know you were a big Top Gun fan.
I'm a huge, still am.
I mean, what do you think of it? Is this going to do it justice? Is it going to? Are you excited to see it, or are you like, no, let it?
Excited might be strong. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but
cautiously, optimistic, or
just because I feel like I should.
That's true. You kind of it's like
I owe it to the franchise.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, but I'm not expecting any fireworks, or it's not gonna be anything too incredible.
No,
I'm probably not gonna buy a copy for home just to watch it over and over again.
I'm gonna get you a copy for like your birthday or Christmas, just because you said that.
I think we should all go together. I think we all go together. That way, at the very least, we have to hang out. That's my thought.
There you go.
And then I think we come back afterwards and rehash and record.
Now they serve beer at the movie theater. I'm always in for a movie.
Fuck. Jill and I we gotten drunk so many times at MacGuffin's pub. So usually we would go fucking MacGuffin. Fucking MacGuffin.
Is that the one next to the?
Dude, we got like really drunk.
Is that what it's called now?
Well, the pub that's inside all the AMC's is called MacGuffin's because MacGuffin is a movie term for you don't like what's in the box. You don't know what's in the box. It's called a MacGuffin. Like if a lot of movies use it as a plot device where you don't know what it is, it's a mystery throughout, and you don't need to know.
Like in Pulp Fiction.
Exactly, that was a MacGuffin, right? But every time we used to get like wrecked, and so one time we got so drunk waiting for a movie, we kept asking the bartender about where's MacGuffin, who is MacGuffin, where is he at, and he just kept
We'd like to talk to him, please.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna probably get kicked out.
Jeez. What's wrong with you?
Jill and I like to go out. We like to have a good time.
We like to go out.
We like to have a good fucking time.
Good.
What happened last night? We had a good fucking time. That's what happened last night.
Did you?
No, Mike, you were telling me about Val Kilmer in the new Top Gun movie.
Yeah, so it's really weird is that
he's supposed to be in it.
He's supposed to be in it, and he's even talked about his role in it, but he wasn't anywhere in the trailer, right?
No, it's just a teaser trailer.
Yeah, it's just a teaser, but you got to look at every other character was shown but him.
What was your theory?
Well, it wasn't my theory. The prevailing theory online, 'cause there's a quick little pan where there's a coffin and a funeral. So allegedly online they're saying that it's really Val, Iceman is really in the coffin. He died, and that's maybe what this impetus for, the movie.
In
and that maybe, like he's dead. It's his funeral. And that maybe he'll come out, like maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like flashbacks or something like that. So that's
I can see that.
That's a theory that I hear on the internet.
Now in the trailer, I watched it a couple times. There was a scene where did I see Goose in there? Did you
I think there's a couple flashbacks.
It had to have been. Why would you put a flashback in the trailer?
Well,
we all know the movie.
Yeah, they're like it's like it looks like the same scene from the bar they're playing.
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
And I remember I even paused it. And I'm like, if that's not him, then like, what are they doing here? It's got to be him.
I think because there's a couple scenes from.
they're definitely gonna play it to the original.
Yeah, well, there's a couple scenes I think where I could have swirls from the original.
Straight flashback.
So yeah, I'm almost thinking there's some straight kind of flashbacks.
Originally, this movie was going to come out this year, and they announced several months ago, 6 months ago, or whatever it was, that they were actually pushing it out to 2020 because they wanted to make sure they got everything like accurate as far as the planes and everything. So they actually push out.
Allegedly, it's all real. Flying sequences.
Because it was going to come out this year, and I guess the powers that be were like, you know what, we're just going to push out a whole year. We're not going to rush it. We want it to be, which is probably a good thing. I'd rather that than, hey, this, we waited 34. I waited 34 years. I can wait another year.
One thing I hope they actually have right in this movie. So every plane now, it's called fly-by-wire, okay? So it's not like cables, where you have a like the P-51 Mustang like stick where you're doing these big movements, right? It's all electronic, right? So like the movements literally are like little tiny little movements, and and even in a preview of the movie, he's like doing this move where his arms are like
I saw that,
and I was just like,
Now maybe
Well, no,
maybe
it
that's
doesn't
another
even do
flash.
that. It barely
Maybe
even
that's another
moves.
flashback though.
I don't know. I hope not. I just hope they got some technical part of it right.
Does anyone remember what Maverick's real Christian given name is?
Pete Mitchell.
That's right.
That's right.
You win the
His
64.
dad's name is Duke Mitchell.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah. Now, what was his rank?
He was. Don't tell me.
Lieutenant.
No.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant.
He was a lieutenant. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Yep.
Lieutenant Pete Mitchell. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Pete. What's your name? Maverick. Maverick? Did your parents not love
Yeah,
you?
did your parents not?
I'm a naval aviator. You're a pilot.
Great fucking movie.
You know what movie also looks amazing is the Brad Pitt one coming out, Ad Astra.
Oh.
Dude, that one looks amazing.
What is it
that
called?
science fiction, Ad Astra. It's
I
like
haven't seen that
it's kind of it's space basically. As Tommy Lee Jones are basically supposed to go out and try to figure out what happened to his dad, and I'm really excited about it because Brad Pitt directed it. It was supposed to come out, I think, last year, and when the studio kept putting pressure on him, he's like, "Nah, it ain't ready." He
Ain't
kept
ready.
like he wanted to make it perfect, and he wasn't
Sure.
happy. So he was like, "All right, what are you gonna do?"
All right.
And he's kept like
We're
literally.
going
So
off
he
right
You're
delayed
gonna
it.
Fire me.
Yeah,
I'm the director
delayed
and
it
the
by
star.
like 8 months just to get the special effects perfect. I'm like, that
I can
has to be a good movie.
respect
That
that
has to be a
because-
good movie.
Say
Yeah.
what you want about
Yeah.
some of these actors and stuff, but they are artists. I
Yeah.
get it. They're an artist and they want to put out the best. Most of them want to put out the best product. I mean,
Or bitch about Trump.
or bitch about Trump. That's their that's on their day off. They like to do that. So.
Jesus Christ.
Now, Ryan, honestly, when you're alone sometimes or you're in the shower, do you find yourself singing "Take My Breath Away"? If you ever get married, will that be your wedding song? I think it should be. Not to give you,
I
tell you what to do.
think if
Guilty.
Trump
Guilty.
if Trump loses the election, I think live on the air you need to lip sync and sing that song.
I think he needs to have a
Just for
karaoke.
you, I will do that because
karaoke
there's a
night.
zero chance that will fucking happen. America's
But
not that dumb.
That's like
Mikey.
that bet where someone goes, "What were you thinking?" I'm not gonna
What were you
lose.
thinking? I can't lose. Like you mean like Trump winning and people mark my words, he'll never win, and then he
Yeah.
won, and people are like, "Oh boy, he won." Like,
His
that's-
mother was a mutter.
he
His mother was a mutter.
loves the slop.
and not because of Trump. I mean, you see what's going on with the four freshmen.
No.
I think,
Four
like,
horsemen,
I'm not
whatever
gonna
the fuck
lie,
they call
a
themselves.
lot of celebrities preaching to people about politics, like you
Makes
live in
you
a
turn
you
them
live
off
in
worse.
you live in a fucking fantasy world,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You live in a world where
I can relate
yeah,
to you. With
yeah,
your
like
fence around your house.
exactly. You're in a your job has no bearing on the economy. People are still going to see movies,
You
right?
didn't act
Yeah,
good.
you can make like 5 shit movies, and still get jobs. So I'm
They're
I'm
gonna call you a racist because you don't agree.
yeah,
with
I'm sick. I really am sick of Hollywood telling us how we should do something. Where it's like, come on, like you live in a fantasy world. You don't know anything about
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk
Just
to
because
me.
you make more money
No,
than me.
Mike,
the
as
fuck
in your
outta here.
professional opinion,
I'm gonna fly to Paris for a climate accord in my private jet with me and myself. You
Right.
know, it's like
what do they call a person, Mike, in your field?
An asshole, Bill.
Who doesn't like other people? Like doesn't like other people. Like you're I'm a people person. What's the opposite? Is there a
well, it
technical
depends.
term?
I mean, because you
Is
have a lot
there-
of people with like autism and Asperger's
No,
like
no,
this.
no.
I don't like people.
No, I'm saying is there a scientific term of someone who like there's a name for someone who's afraid of wide open spaces.
No. There's multiple things where it's like that. There's like autism, Asperger's, where people just don't like other people and don't want to be around them. One's called like schizotypal personality disorder, where
I'm
yeah,
a schizotype. I mean, you guys are cool.
or
Yeah,
schizo. I always get
schizotype.
mixed up. There's schizoid and schizotypal. I always get mixed up.
It
But
really boils to the top when I'm sitting in traffic or I'm like in a busy place and I'm just like,
Schizotypal.
I just like what a skee ball. That's all I heard. And I'm like, you know what? We need a plague. We need a new plague. This we need about 40% of the, and I don't care which 40% of the people. It has nothing to do with race, religion, or gender. Just God, I'm talking to you. You can take any 40% you want. It doesn't have to be a painful death. Just make them go away. Just get out of my way so I can get on the interstate. I want to get on 71 northbound without having to sit in
So I
bumper to
can get
bumper
on the
traffic. That's
interstate.
it.
surrounded by assholes.
Yeah. With a light grenade. Oh.
I don't know that there's like I think a lot of people kind of feel the way. I mean, honestly, I think it's why like Walking Dead and all these shows are so important because I think people deep down inside kind of just like, well, fuck it, let's just start over again.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie plague. All right, that's what it's gonna take.
Speaking of someone starting over, so to speak, is Tiger Woods.
Oh,
he's on the comeback trail. He was doing good for a while, and then he just bombed at the British Open. Ryan, I know you're a big golf guy. What's your take on that?
I think we got to be realistic with our expectations with Tiger.
Yeah. He had a moment in time for that Masters. I mean, it never happened again.
That course fits his game.
Yeah.
He's 40. He's had 2 back infusions.
And even Tiger said that. I mean, he said, "I'm not 24 anymore."
Yeah.
That's his words.
And like he said, I'm not practicing 10 hours a day now.
He
I've
reminds
got my
me.
life.
He's got a couple bitches probably on the
Probably,
side.
yeah.
let's be
Pancakes
honest.
are rolling in from the IHOP deal.
Well, to me, it reminds me.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
feel.
in racing, when you'll get these older drivers where they'll just go to Indy, and they can drive Indy better than anybody, but anywhere else, they're just not going to be able to hack it. They just can't.
No.
So, I don't know. That's what I think a lot of what's going to be with Tiger is that he's going to have a couple of those courses that, for whatever,
Fit his game,
it
caught
just
the
fits
weekend
his
right.
game, and it's just he's going to always have that. But the days of him challenging for
Every
the
single
championship,
week.
nah.
What's the age for the senior PGA Tour, Ryan?
I think it might be 40, 45.
Really?
Yeah.
So
He's right there.
basically, Tiger's like, just get ready, bitches, because
I'm coming.
for the next 15 years. Once I get to there, it's going to be
Yep.
all me again.
I think
No more Tom Lehman.
yeah. I mean, when he knows that he can't win any of those anymore, that's when he
He ain't
Yeah,
gonna hang
no,
around. He's
hell
not
no,
doing
no.
shit.
Well, I don't think
good.
he's
He's not John.
I don't think
Daly.
he's done
Nah.
yet. Yeah, I think John Daly, but I just think he's gonna. I think he's still got a few more.
I mean,
years in him.
I think Ryan, you said that he'll have a couple of those courses
He'll have
where
flashes of brilliance.
He'll have
It just
moments
has
of
a
greatness,
weekend
yeah.
where his back doesn't bother him. I have weekends where my back doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Well, then everything's going in the hole, and you're just everything's hitting.
I've got those weekends too.
Right.
It's a maddening game, dude. I mean, like, I always make jokes about my golf game, but like, I have what I call moments of greatness.
Yeah.
Where I'll have like these shots here, just be like, dude,
And you're like,
this is
I'm
money.
fantastic
I
at
am
this
fantastic.
game.
Don't
And then-
sell your
and then-
clubs.
and then immediately followed by just shit show. I mean, it is the most maddening game out there, and no explanation, no rhyme. I remember one round. I remember the most I ever did. I put like 6 solid holes together, and I remember even my head going.
I figured it out.
Well, no. It was the opposite. It was the opposite. It was like, all right, this is weird. What's about to happen? I remember the very next hole, I hit a good shot, but my driver ever so slightly just touched the grass, and I go, here it comes, and then fucking fell apart from there, dude. So it's a tough game, especially when you have physical limitations, and it's tough.
Understood.
Understood.
Especially when you hate other people. What was that called again?
Skeezy
Wheezy?
Well, I guess we can call it schizotypal, I think. I don't know, probably mixed up.
Sounds made up.
Schizotypal, yeah.
I'd like skeezy weezy.
I wish. No, just like, Ataque de Nervicios is actually real. It's just fun to say.
Okay.
Culture bound syndrome, attack of the nerves.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
That came out. That's like turned 35 like yesterday.
That's one of those movies you watch, you're going, oh my God, it's so dated.
What is a
I haven't
flush?
seen that in a while.
What the fuck is a frush?
Oh, no, get rid of those cards. You don't want those. It's like, oh,
Hey,
thank you.
Hey, out of pie.
Oh,
That's where the thing is, like, where we're at.
we're going to
though,
get thrown off the air for that one. You can't
Well, I
say
think
that. You
here's the
can't
thing I do.
even say
Okay,
that.
all right, and I'll get off my soapbox in this one. Is that there's like movies, right? We grew up watching, and like you I hate how politically correct we are now because like you'll like say the quote, and you're going, oh, is that racist?
I know, but
Don't worry, Mike D. I still say it.
I appreciate
I think
that,
as long as it's said in a comedic way and not in a mean way, spirited way, I think you're okay, in my opinion.
I don't think that exists anymore.
Well,
unfortunately.
but it depends on if
You just gotta not worry about pissing people off.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So it is what it is.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
Really it is. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys just-
I admire it.
they
I
get
mean,
fucking
honestly,
bent out of
yeah,
shape.
I
They
mean,
get bent out of shape.
I think as long as it's not like an excuse.
I've already
I'm just
found
being
4
honest.
friends. They can carry me to the grave. I'm good. I'm short on friends. I'm good.
If I haven't lost the guys that I grew up with, it's like, all right, I think I'm good. I mean,
Yeah. You think you don't have enough to get you to the grave? I mean,
Has any of us ever kind of gone, hey man, I think you went a little too far with that one?
Too far. Like,
I know
me?
I've been told that
Like-
once.
like
I
once
think you
a
guys
month.
told me.
Once a
Yeah.
month.
Has
No,
any
it's too
of us ever went like, hey man, that was probably a little too far?
Sure.
Like straight up,
Probably,
like
but, yeah.
yeah. Because I think every one of us has had at least one time one of us kind of go,
Well,
hey man,
I've never paid
It's
attention.
usually
man.
it's usually involved alcohol too. Like, hey man, like
emotions
you're
or
doing too
alcohol.
much, or
Yeah.
like last night you were here and you could have been here. Sure, but
Mike, you shouldn't have said that.
it's been pretty right. You shouldn't have said
Mike,
that.
you shouldn't have said that, man.
Yeah.
You really made the situation worse. That was I only did that shit though when I was like in college, not at all like a
shit
couple
happens.
months ago.
Well, I'm not in college anymore. You guys aren't either.
No.
On that note, we're gonna shut this shit down, Negan
Shut
style.
it down.
Yeah. Until next time, folks, we're going to go ahead and cash out here for myself, for America's Counselor, Mike Devine, for Ryan Stelzer. We're out of here. Michael D., anything else you'd like to add?
I like chicken.
Ryan Stelzer?
I like chicken too. Good stopping by, fellas.
Winner, chicken dinner. On that note, check us out next time. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Peace.